Oh, sorry, I'm still dancing from this jingle. That was amazing, this countdown. Hello, everyone. David here, and I'm surrounded. I'm overwhelmed by the presence of Marketa and Leah from MEA. How are you guys?
So nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent to see you. Where are you guys located? Marketa, you're still in India?
I'm not in India anymore. I'm back home in the UK in Bristol.
Back home, UK, Leah?
I'm at home too in Munich.
At home too, and I'm at home. It's so nice to be at home sometimes.
Yes.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching this live. We are eager just to spend this little moment with you. We want to talk, we want to give each other some news. We have so many good news for you guys. We're talking about handpans, our lovely instruments. And yeah, we hope you're doing good. It would be nice if you could just tell us in the comment if you hear me well, if you hear us well, if the backtrack that you're listening to is loud enough, because it's a track from your new album. Am I right?
From the old one.
From an old one. Oh, I thought it was from the latest one, because you guys just recorded a new album, right?
We did, but actually there are so many songs where we are singing, and for the backing track we decided it would be better to have plain handpan.
So from a previous album. Okay, so it's an album with voices. It's proper lyrics. Did you compose some lyrics, or is it just some?
We hope it's for lyrics. I guess it's gonna be up to everyone else to judge whether it's proper or not. But yeah, it's an album that we recorded in January. We locked ourselves up in the recording studio at IAS's Instrument, which is a wonderful space with a lot of instruments to play with, as you can imagine. And we not only recorded handpans, we recorded our voices, as we said, but also guitar, even a piano. There's loads of percussions included in the album. There are all different kinds of jingly things that we don't even know how they are called, but they are very beautiful. And a lot of shakers, a lot of love that we recorded into the album as well.
Yes, and that's something very nice with you. You are musicians. You're not just handpan players. People who play the handpan. You also play some other instruments. Is it something you've been combining already from the beginning, combining handpan and other instruments, or that was just for this project specifically?
So we started playing handpans. That's where we also met. Like we met in 2019 again after having met each other in several handpan workshops all over the world where we were learning ourselves. So and then we started practicing handpan together without any idea in our head where it could lead to. And in 2019 we met again, and that's where we started to compose some handpan tracks.
Okay, so you met in 2019?
No, actually, that was wrong. We met again in 2019. We met. It was 2017 where we started to play together and to rehearse or practice.
Yeah, indeed. Before that, we both played different instruments, but it was the handpan that really, at least for me, ignited the passion to actually share my music. And to actually create my music. Before, I never created my own music. I think that it's a little bit different for Leah, but I never composed before having the handpan in my lab. And actually, the first time ever I touched the instrument, my first question to a friend that was sharing the instrument with me, I was asking him, where is my note sheet? Where is the notation for me so that I can play something? And I remember he was saying, there's nothing you have to play, you just play something. And I thought, like, that is really difficult to just play something, you know? For me, I never really thought that that would be difficult, because there's so many options that it's so overwhelming to just play something. And I guess this is something that we, recognized and we learned ourselves, and we wish to kind of convey and somehow share our experience in our course, how that something can happen. Because it's not only about learning how to play an instrument, you also have to learn how to make your own music.
Yeah, so the you started composing with the handpan. Before that, you never released some like guitar songs or whatever, but you felt like this instrument was the perfect instrument to express your music, right? What's
For
so
me, that was
different in the handpan? What is so different in the handpan for you, Marketa and Leah?
Well, actually, I did compose before without the handpan, but
Okay.
very simple things with my guitar. So I had just the guitar and 2 or 3 chords, and I was singing over it and getting rid of being lovesick. That's how my creation of music started. But then with the handpan, somehow I step by step also understood the theoretical part, because it was so easy, because it was just a handpan, it's just one scale.
Mm.
And then I wanted to play with a guitar player in Munich, and I had no idea how to combine guitar and handpan. So I started to search, how can I play the notes the guitar player is playing?
Yeah.
Then actually that's the first time I really understood that what a chord means, for example. It's the combination of some notes, and that it creates a beautiful harmony. Before I had no idea. I was just playing the 3 or 4 chords, and I was always singing the same over it.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow it ignited the joy in me of going on a journey and understanding more. And I was also playing piano when I was a kid, but I had no idea how to just sit on the piano and play. So then after having my first handpan, I was trying to find the notes of my handpan on my piano and just playing those notes. And I was like, wow, I can also improvise on the piano. I had no idea before.
Yeah. Excellent. So you were doing this kind of back and forth things between the piano and the handpan. You were playing your handpan notes on your piano.
Because I had no idea how to play harmonious on a piano without notes. So then I was like, okay, the handpan itself sounds harmonious. If I just play those notes on the piano, it might sound nice too.
Excellent. There's something when we listen to your music, and when we talk with you, and I will never forget the first time I met you talking about having you on MasterTheHandpan, and I was like, they are joyful, they are simple, and they are so funny. It looks a little bit like MasterTheHandpan, so I should have them. And so we started talking, and what do you have to say about those things? Because I think everyone is looking for this simplicity, joyful, having fun with the instrument, and we can lose it if we compare ourselves with others, if we just scroll YouTube and are jealous or whatever. What do you have to say about those 3 keywords that for me kind of resume our summary of who you are?
Well, so for me, when you say simplicity, it was something very difficult for me to learn. And I think this is what Leah also brought into our shared project, because I felt like, I come from a slightly different background where we used to play on my piano a lot of complicated things, and I used to think, oh, this is where I need to go with the handpan as well, and that's why it took for me so long to even compose my first track, or to kind of like play something that I would say, okay, this is it. This is good enough for me to be a composition, or this is good enough for me to kind of like let it out to the world. And I think just also realizing what kind of music I like listening to, and this is very often it's simple. It's not overcomplicated. It's not overproduced. It's not filled with all sorts of cool tricks. And I like watching that as well. And I'm scrolling and I see people doing all sorts of cool techniques, and I think that it's a lot of fun to learn. But at the same time, when I listen to music, I really enjoy simplicity. I enjoy the emptiness, and going back to the basics, especially when we started playing together, was both necessary and which was very beautiful to experience how we can be in the moment where we play simple things and we are really fully in it, rather than just already waiting for the next thing to come. And that's what Leah really taught me, to bring simplicity into my music as well. So thank you.
Leah, a few words about this?
Yeah, for me it was just the other way around, because back then I was just able to play simple things and at the same time feel it. Otherwise, if I was playing too much, I was always in my head and I couldn't really hear the music anymore, or just connect to what the notes make me feel. So actually that was the reason why I played simple, and I always looked up to Marketa in the beginning. I was like, wow, what she's doing I could never do. So somehow the first years were really like finding a balance and inspiring each other, and like the more complicated things we can do now is really coming from Marketa's inspiration, seriously. And now we try to combine it to...
Yeah, and it seems looks and sound really well balanced. And when we watch your videos, when we listen to your music, there is this chemistry. And I'm surprised to hear that you only met like 5 years ago. For me, I could have heard like, oh, we play since we're kids. I mean, not kids, the handpan was not existing, but you know what I mean? We when we hear you, we feel like, yeah, they've been playing for such a long time. So how did you bring your two backgrounds, your two personality and everything into this duet? And maybe what is the process of then composing together?
Sorry, I was a bit disturbed, but I was just...
That's because of the dog, right?
Just interrupting this live. I'm really sorry.
Could we have the name? Could we have the name of the dog?
It's Hazel. Come on, let's go.
Jacob?
No! Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for him if you want to be interviewed.
Probably not. Can you repeat your question, David?
My question is, I'm always interested because I think we are in an era of the handpan where we want to compose more. You know what I mean? We started with the hang and we were playing without knowing anything, like just having fun, campfire, hangouts, UK, blah, blah, blah. Then we went into this era of more instruments, but also more players and more techniques, you know? And we have all these amazing players that we know. And then now, because we can have 1, 2, 3, 4 instruments, we have mutant and a lot of notes. I think we're no more into one instrument and rocking it. We are more into composition. And I think this topic is going to be more and more here and there in the future of the handpan. That's my thoughts. And I would love to hear you about the process maybe of composing. How do you compose? How did you bring your two backgrounds together? Because it looks really fluent when you play and when you compose. How does it work?
Like, it really depends. Marketa, you want to go? It really depends. Very often somebody comes with an idea and the other one just tries to play over it. And then we say, hey, this is a nice part, and how could we continue from this? And very often we try to find also images, what we see when we play. So
images like you are drawing on your instrument, or images of nature, or...
Yeah, for example, this feels like walking through wet grass in the morning, and this is how the subtle thing, and now we want to build it up, and it's getting like we try to create some stories.
Yeah, excellent.
And sometimes
it's more about what we imagine rather than having an actual picture or having an actual photo or drawing. It's really just, it's more trying to put words and names on the feelings that we have when we play. And then it helps us as Leah to create a story for the composition, so that it's not just, what would be a cool note to follow and what is the logical chord that we follow. And it's more about, okay, what do we want to convey? Is it something subtle and soft? Is it something that we want to? Do we want to be angry? Do we want to, all the subtleties of what we
So if I
are.
put a little camera in your living room while you are composing, I would hear Leah saying, "And now the rain comes," and you would be like, "No, maybe not the rain now, but a bit of wind," and then this kind of things.
And not really. Somehow we first play, and then maybe if we like the sound of what we did, we record it first, and then we start talking. And how did you feel? What did you see? And where could this head to? And
yeah, excellent.
Very often, what we practice at home by ourselves comes into our jamming first, and then from jamming we find nice passages, and we put it together, and we tweak around, and we say, this note might be a bit too tense, let's switch it a bit.
Okay, so it's a big discussion with the instrument on your lap and sharing the moment. That's excellent.
Yeah, or then then Leah jumps out and she's like, okay, I want to add the flute. I really feel like adding something more windy, just another instrument, and that's how also more instruments come in.
Okay, yeah.
But it depends also. For example, the All Is Inside, the song with the handpan and the flute, Marketa had it fully composed with her handpan. And actually it all started because I loved it so much that I said, I'm going to record you now playing this song. And then she went home to England, and I was sitting at home with my flute trying to put things over it. And I thought, like, maybe some voice adding to it. And somehow, so it's really different. Each song is different in its procedure, how it got to where it is now.
Excellent. And this is something that we see in your course, is that you are not only teaching us things, but also really the process. I remember some exercises where you are talking about a note, which one you want to hear right after. And there's also these exercises with drawings and shapes and stuff. Do you want to talk about it? Because I've watching your tutorials, your masterclass, I really felt like in the living room with you, but also in a workshop, and it was entertaining, and I was really with you guys. Could you talk about these different exercises and way of teaching? Because I really enjoyed your style.
Our wish for this course was really to kind of take people on a journey with us. As you say, maybe you feel like you're with us in the living room. That would be fantastic if that is what people experience when they learn with us. And so our wish was to just really give people the tools so that they can create their own music, and how they can, just some little tips about how they can bring out their own creativity, how they can create their own melodies and rhythms consciously also. So there is an intention with which people can come to the instrument and say, okay, now I hear something in what I'm playing, and maybe I want to take it on a journey and create a story with it. And so that's where the different exercises, as you're saying, David, with shapes and using our ears and singing with it, and just really understanding what it is that we want to express. And maybe hopefully it will help people to create their own songs, their own compositions, and also all what we are teaching, all these exercises to become more creative and to create your own rhythm and create your own melody, and how to put all this together and then to bring it into a jam, into playing with someone, because we feel this is all the foundation for being able to play with another person. And we have also loads of sessions where people can just join us and play along.
Yeah. And I think you go ahead, Leah, please.
I'm just reading a question in the chats, which is, how did you structure your course in terms of solo players? There are 2 of you, but most Master the Handpan students practice by themselves. Coming from Christina, thank you so much.
Very nice question.
And actually, most of our course is really about finding your own style of music and preparing for jamming. And then we have a section about jamming where we explain how you can come from different approaches, like starting a jam with a melody, starting a jam with a rhythm. But we also provide some jam along videos, so you can do the whole course also just by yourself, and just prepare for the next jam whenever you meet others. Then you know what you can bring into the jam.
It's not a course about how to play together, a course that you can only follow if you have a dude next to you. It's a course that equips you, giving you some tools for your own handpan journey. And that's also something very nice. I'm always having this illustration in some course, and it's excellent. In some courses, we go back home with lasagna, or we have Dan Mulqueen saying such a great course for solo and duo players. He knows the course and he has been editing it. Thank you, Dan. Love you, bro. I was saying lasagna, talking about lasagna, super important. Some courses, you go back home with lasagna. It's excellent. And you can share with someone like, hey, I learned this lasagna, to make this lasagna. And you eat with someone and you share and you show. And your course is more like, I'm home and I did the grocery shopping with them. They showed me these ingredients, and now I will try to make it. And I have different, you know what I mean? So, and I think you're giving tools, and also you are giving people ideas to create their own exercises. I love that with the tabler. The board, how do you call that?
Yeah,
the billboard.
We are using a board and this grid in our course that hopefully will also help people who are more visual with creating their own exercises, as you said, David. And you can draw with that, or you can just download the grid, or you can just see the grid on your screen, whatever you prefer. But you're definitely having all the ingredients with us and the recipe, but you might end up with like a pizza, maybe. I don't know. But I think we will be happy if you end up with something completely else than the lasagna. It doesn't matter.
So,
excellent.
like when we started coming up with the contents for this course, we thought that our main goal is to give a kind of a toolbox to get creative. And we're coming from very different approaches. Some are very intuitive, so you can really just focus more on your ears and on your feeling, and some are really structured and technical. So we show how chords are built and how you can put accents into this grid to create your rhythms. So that was important for us, that in the end, kind of you are your own chef, and you write your rhythm and you write your melody, and it's mainly a course to challenge, to be more creative and come up with your things and how to do that.
Yeah. And you are teaching about creativity in a creative way. I mean, the way you teach is fun, easy to follow, dynamic, and also because there's the two of you on the screen, it makes it really, really dynamic. I really loved it. And so it's excellent. I really loved the content. Who do you think this course is for? People who want to, what is the profile of the people that this course is designed for?
I think it is for people who just want to share the love for the instrument and for the music with us, mainly. It is also for people who are just starting on their journey with the handpan, because we are starting from the beginning. This is maybe something worth saying, that we both feel as we are going on our musical journey. We started at different points. We met when we were at different points, and we always find it useful to go back to the beginning, and there's always something that we can learn. And if you've been playing already for a couple of years, you will find something else in the beginning that a person who is just starting. So first of all, it's for people who are just, who are at the beginning of their handpan journey, and they want to start building up their skills. But it is also for people who have been playing for a while. They are, say, intermediate players, and they feel a little bit stuck. in what they are playing. Both Leah and I, we have been teaching the handpan for years now, and this is one of the common things that we hear from people when we ask them, what do you want to learn? And people go like, well, I feel like I play always the same, or I'm stuck in certain pattern that I always play, and I do really want to get out of it. And so for all these people who feel this way, that's why we came up with all these creative exercises. We have the rhythmical grid, and to really make you realize what it is that your pattern is, and then start slowly changing it in a very conscious way. Because if you are already stuck in some pattern for, say, several months or years, and you always play it, it would be quite difficult for you to magically come up with something else. So that's why we provide this step-by-step kind of guide with different tools. Maybe you're more structured and you want more exercises, or you're more intuitive and will be able to guide yourself in a different way. And this is what the course will hopefully.
I was on my phone. I was on my phone trying to find a word in English. It's springboard. I think this course, as you said, is for beginners, but also it is a springboard for people who maybe are stuck and they want to just go back to create, and it could be kind of a trigger, kind of a springboard. You watch the course and you're like, okay, let's go back to this instrument. This instrument has so many other things to tell me, to show me, and I have so many things to do with it. And yeah, it's kind of I would say it's a course that will help you to get your handpan out of the placard. How do you say, the cupboard? No, how do you say?
Maybe it's a cupboard, who knows?
Closet. It's a course that will help you to get out your handpan from the closet and go back to just to create. What are the instruments you are performing the course with? Because they sounded really good. And it's important to know. We're going to have that question a lot.
So most of the videos we played with the Ayasa D-card 10. That's the one Marketa always had on her laps when I was having the board in my hands. And then we also have a D-card 19, and then we have a Meridian F-Low Pygmy.
Is it the white one, kind of whiter, brighter instrument?
It's the golden one, it's the Meridian.
The golden with a lot of notes that Marketa mainly plays, right? No, not mainly, but she's the one playing it.
We both played.
You're both playing it. Yeah, this one sounds really good also.
And then we have some, because we have a jam along section for people not having our instruments or our scales. So we have a jam in D minor, a jam in D major, which would be for Disabai, or always to the relative minor or major, which we also explained in our course, like which handpans fit together. Then we have an E Amara of Ayasa. And what else did we play? A low F-Low Pygmy from Meridian too, like the bassy one.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what if we don't have the same scale as you, the same instrument, the same amount of notes? What would you answer to these people? Because that's one of the big questions we have on Mastering the Handpan. And then we have this Markino question right after.
So actually, it doesn't really matter which scale you have, because it was never the focus of we play a melody and after this video you will know exactly this melody.
Yeah.
So you can watch the video and then switching it off, because it might not sound good with our scale if you have a different scale, and then you can just try exactly the same and figure out how it works on your handpan.
Nice. One question.
And it's also
from this guy.
Yeah, it's also not for people to kind of binge watch the course. It's not like you go one lesson after another and in a day you're done. It is really to kind of take the tools for reflection and really try a lot of things on your scale. So whether you have a curd or you have another scale, it will, all the tips that we give you in that video will always work on your scale. And at the end, if you want to jam along with us, we really try to pick scales that are the most common. And we will also attach to our course some extra materials where you will have information about the scale that maybe you have and we don't play in the course.
Can we have that? Thank you very much. Can we have that question back again? So the best, some choices of scales that matches well.
Mm-hmm. So the easiest is to have the same scale, because then you can also use the visual approach. And when somebody moves to one side of the instrument, you can just do the same.
Yeah.
So what we, in our duo, we play 2 D chords and we play 2 F pygmies. And we started with 2 F pygmies that are the same scale, like the F3 F low pygmies. And now we have one more, which is 1 register lower, so the F2 pygmy. So we play, but we play the same scales.
Okay, and that question is also really hard to answer. And we can say, one, the best scales that goes together are the same scales. Then maybe we have the relatives, major and minor, like a D minor goes well with an F major. Hard to explain. Also that some scales, they goes together because some notes are in common, some are not, and it gives you some other possibilities. Some also are a mode that is really interesting. Some others because they just give you notes you don't have, like D chord, you go for a C sharp Anaziska, and then you have that D chord translated half a step down and blah blah. So sorry, brother, who wrote that question. It's a big topic, but it's nice to just have some the same instrument to start with if you want to play with someone. But if you want to extend the possibilities of your scale, I would even say just pick up another instrument, do some trials, and if you know theory, a little bit music theory, if you know what is a triad, what is a chord, blah blah blah, you will be like, dun dun, with that one give me this chord, dun dun, with that one give me that other chord, this da da da. But it needs a bit of music theory. I think you dive a little bit in the topic, not like conservatory, 3rd degree or whatever, but yeah, you're talking about chords, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think it was about which pans fit together, right? Question.
Yeah, I think that it was a question about when we play together, what pans would we think go best together. So that is a different question. If you want to play 2 instruments on your own, that would really be that would be a completely different line of thinking. But if we both play handpans, really ideally for both composition and jamming, we would have the same scales. And what we find works really well is that if you have the option to have the same scales with different registers, so as Lea said, we play the F3 low pygmy and the F2 low pygmy. They go perfectly well together, and we can occupy different spaces in the music. One of us occupy more bassy space, and the other one occupies more higher space. Yeah.
But also we had jams in festivals where we had no pans that fit together. So you were slowly trying to find the one note that is fitting to the other one's pan. And this can also be fun and create your music with just a few notes that might fit. It's a nice challenge.
Yeah, it is. We have that question. Would you recommend a beginner to start also with the handpan with bottom notes already, or just stick to 8 or 9 plus 1?
Wow, that is I think it also depends what your budget is as a beginner, to be honest, because in terms of more notes, obviously every note that you will have on your instrument will have an extra cost, and if you are just starting, you might not know, am I picking the scale that I will stay with, or is even the instrument something that I will really play for a long time? So from this point of view, it is quite, it is nice to have an instrument which has 9 plus 1 on top. It will make you get to know the instrument really well and really learn how to use all the 10 notes that you have on the top of your instrument, it will probably make you even more creative if you really stick to the instrument that you have, and you will be finding a lot of different ways to play because you have only limited number of notes. At the same time, if you feel like, okay, I really know that I want to play this the handpan. I know that I've listened to this scale for so long and I really connect to it, and I want to make a commitment to this instrument for long term. Of course, then, if it's within your budget, getting at least a couple of bottom notes will extend the options of your instrument a lot. You can, ignore them for a while if you can manage, and then start slowly experimenting. Okay, how do I add them? And it is really a lot. It adds a lot more versatility if you have bottom notes. It also adds more challenge to playing, though. It is more complex to play bottom notes. So there's, I guess, from me, there is no one straightforward answer.
I started with just top notes because back then there were not really instruments with bottom notes, and after 3 years I got my first bottom notes instrument, and it was really exciting because it suddenly opened up so many new possibilities. And at the same time I was really happy that I just spent the time exploring just the top without having to worry about the bottom.
Yeah, and I think if you really understand and tame correctly and play correctly this top shell, really you are fluent, flying over the instrument and understanding everything, then it will be better to add bottom notes. And also back in the years, it was hard to find an instrument. Nowadays, pick up a 9+1, and then when you feel like you need more notes and more possibilities, just sell it, buy another one. It's so much easier. We all remember those days where if you ever see one instrument, no matter what the scale is, the maker is, you just jump on it. Now, relax, take it easy, be wise, and if you want nice instruments, we mentioned those two brands that you are playing that are really, really good. Meridian Handpans are doing an amazing job. ISA too, they both do simpler instrument and mutant and bottom notes instruments. So go and check out their websites. I'm not making money on that, but I just have love these instruments. The beauty and magic of simplicity by MEA are amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for your beautiful comments. I'm just simultaneously reading the chat and it's heartwarming. Wow.
We were talking about the scales and the amount of notes and blah, blah, blah. The best way also to make sure this course matches your needs is to grab the tutorials, the videos that you are giving for free. Maybe we can put a link somewhere. 1, 2, 3. The link. Oh, almost. Yes. So if one go on this link, you will be able to download to watch 4 tutorials, so you can feel the mood of this course. You can see them interacting and challenging you and coaching you and helping you. You're gonna love this this course. Give it a try. So the course, do you know the release date of your course?
It's the 4th of April.
Yes. So it will be available. We have a private sale that is running. You can subscribe till the 31 of March to have the best deal and all the blah, blah, blah. Everything perfect before everyone else. And then the public launch will be on the 1st of April or 2nd. If someone behind the computer can confirm us that.
Oh, it's the first. We know that, David. It's the first.
It's the first?
Yes.
I thought it was the second.
It's the
I am the
first.
founder of MasterTheHandpan, and I don't even know that. That means I have an amazing team.
You do.
Okay.
You do have an amazing team.
Yeah, they're amazing. So, private sale, subscribe before the 31, and then the course will be open to public on the 1st of April. Yeah, I could stay hours with the two of you, but I have to go, and I'm sure you have a life, and you have also some other stuff to do. But it was nice talking with the both of you, and it was nice having you guys watching this event and commenting, posting some questions. This event you will be able to watch it as a replay. We thank you for your time, and as we say at Master the Handpan, we just want you to have fun with this beautiful instrument, and there's nothing like these two beautiful women to introduce you to the fun of the handpan through this full and lovely course. We want to have fun, and we want to spread that out with Master the Handpan. Do you agree, Leah and Marketa? This instrument is so cool.
It is.
It is. Yeah, we love it. So have a good day, everyone. And
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We love you. Have a great day wherever you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.